Hello and welcome back to another Lua Fundamentals episode. Today's topic will be about data structures and table library. As you remember from previous videos, we learned about variables and data types, which are basic and essential for programming applications. And now we'll dive into how tables work in Lua. Without further ado, let's begin. As I mentioned earlier, Lua provides two well-known data structures, dictionary and array. It's actually just a table data structure that can be interpreted as a dictionary or an array. Lua also has something called linked lists, which will not be explained today, but I'll leave a link in the description down below. Let's start with the array. Arrays are index value-based data tables, where the index is a numerical value in the range from 1 to the length of the array. Here we have array named countries and contains 4 keys inside of it. Canada, United States, Germany and Ireland. Canada is under index 1, US is under index 2, Germany is under index 3, and Ireland is under index 4. And again, as I mentioned before, you can store any data type you want and access values the same way we did before. Oh, and before we get to the dictionaries, I forgot to say that arrays are sequential data tables, while dictionaries are not. But essentially dictionaries are key value-based tables, where key can be absolutely any data type. Oops, but not a nil. In this dictionary, we have different colors, red, blue, green and yellow, and associated values to them. We will get the values associated to our keys, just like we did with indices and arrays. These were some basic examples of how arrays and dictionaries work. By the way, if you need to get the length of an array, you can simply use hash in front of the array. However, for a dictionary you need to declare a variable and increment it by 1 for each iteration. Now let's move on to the table library. Table library is a built-in Lua module that provides a set of different functions that allow you to manipulate your tables, like adding new elements to a table, removing elements, sorting your table, moving elements from one table to another, and much more. Here's the set of functions I talked about earlier. I will explain about each and every of them, except for the deprecated ones, as they are outdated. We'll start off with table concat. Table concat and except for arguments in total, where the first one, which is a table, is required, and 3 optional, separate string, starting and ending index. Think of table concat as connecting all these values into one heap with a character between them. Now let's see how we can add no items to the table. Table insert provides us with 2 options. We can either manually set what position our value should be at, or it will automatically place the value in the last index. Since arrays are sequential data tables, if I try to add elements with index greater than length plus 1, it will give an error that our index is out of bounds. Now let's see what table move function does. Table move provides us with 5 required arguments. The first is the table from which we will move the content, in the range from F to E, where F and E are indices, in table A2 in position T. And now we have pack and unpack functions. Pack function is the same as declaring a variable and associating a table with it, but it also provides the field n, which represents the number of arguments passed to functio. Table unpack does the exact opposite of what the pack function does. It extracts values from the table based on their index, and returns them as a sequence in the order they appear in the table. Next we have table remove functio, which removes values from a table with a given index. Here I'm removing value at the index 2, which in our case is a fruit, and what will happen now is any value that comes after the fruits will be shifted by 1 index to the left. And our final function for today is sorting, which allows us to sort the table in descending or ascending order. Table sort accepts 2 arguments, the first of which is the table we want to sort, and optional comp, which should be a functio that takes 2 values from the table and returns true, whether or not first value should appear before the second one. You can sort your table either numerically or alphabetically, using less than or greater than operators.